Let's talk about the current state of SpeedStorm. It's been a little over a year since this game launched into early access before turning free to play a few months ago, and in that time there have been many sweeping changes, some better, some worse, some arguable. Just so you know where I'm coming from with this, my history with SpeedStorm is that I've played 4 out of 6 seasons. I did seasons 1 and 2 with Monsters Inc. and Toy Story, and then I fell off the game with seasons 3 and 4, Lilo and Stitch and Aladdin, whichever order that was in. Not because I didn't like the game anymore, but I just got busy with other things. I came back towards the middle of season 5 with Frozen, and despite having no love of Frozen, I definitely consider myself back in the thick of things and ready to keep up with Disney SpeedStorm at large again. Currently, we are on Season 6, The Little Mermaid, and it's almost over. I've hit level 50 on the Golden Pass, and I'm ready for the next season, which I hope is Wreck-It Ralph, but only because it's an absolute crime that Vanellope isn't in this game yet. I don't care about anyone else, but we needed Speedster Vanellope and her signature Sugar Rush track in Disney SpeedStorm at launch, much less the 7th damn season. Literally the only Disney character specifically born and bred for this kind of thing, but I digress. The first thing I want to talk about is the upcoming changes for Season 7 that the devs recently outlined, chief of which being an overhauled progression system that aims to make individual racer shards more valuable and immediately beneficial, but that I think doesn't really solve a problem that could easily just not exist in the first place. Currently, racer shards are tied to character level in a benchmark way. When you get 10 shards, you unlock a racer, but they are rank 1 in stars and can only be leveled to 15 until you get 20 more shards to 2-star them and breach the next level cap. This will let them hit a max level of 25 before you need to get them to 3 stars to reach the next 10 levels, etc. This creates a fundamental problem of not being able to level up your character for months at a time in some cases until you get enough racer shards from random sources like events and universal boxes or the excruciatingly slow-going racer boost to continue the process. You can have all the upgrade materials in the world for your chosen character, but if you don't have the shards, they will languish in stagnant purgatory for seasons to come, hopefully unsuccessfully, incentivizing you to spend a frankly ridiculous amount of money on a paltry number of shards to expedite the process. Shards in the shop seem to have a 1 to $1 ratio, which is just laughable. I am not going to spend $5 on 5 shards for a character when I need 40 to reach the next star rank, no matter what kind of discount you're lying about putting over the quote-unquote original price. The first time I saw these extra shard packs for 500 blue tokens, which generally also equates to $5, I assumed they had 15 or 20 shards in them, and when I finally clicked on one and saw 5 shards, I just shook my head. Why would I ever expect the gacha market to be reasonable, right? But that doesn't make it more acceptable. Anyway, the new progression system aims to make individual shards more impactful by letting you consistently upgrade your characters a bit at a time as you get more shards, instead of waiting for these end-level cutoffs where only the final shard that pushes you over the edge into the next star rank really makes an immediate difference. For instance, instead of your character being stuck at level 15 with 1 star while you try to get the 20 more shards necessary to 2-star and break the level cap, now, as you gather those shards, you can level up your character using those shards. So like if you're 10 shards away from hitting the next level cap, instead of being stuck at 15, maybe you're up to like 19. The caps will also be changed though, and progression will look a bit different. Your character now doesn't gain stars just from having shards. The shards need to be spent, in a sense, as part of the level up process. So let's say you have enough shards to get a 5-star Mike Wazowski, something I've been working on ever since the game came out, and I'm finally close to actually achieving now that he's been nerfed 8 times. After this update, if your Mike is level 1, he will stay at 1 star until you level him up to the new breakpoint of 20, at which point if you have the necessary shards, he will transition to a 2-star, and will remain as such until you level him up to 30, where he will then become a 3-star with the prerequisite amount of shards, and so on up to 40, and finally 50 to become a 5-star. One probably positive side effect of this is that ranked multiplayer matchmaking might get more fair because everyone of a similar level will have the same amount of stars and thus similar power levels on their weapons. No more level 7 characters that have 4 stars and all the best crew because someone just hadn't done ranked multiplayer with them before when they were passively decking them out. In the last season, I got Kristoff to 4 stars when I didn't even want him from the season box, but I just kept getting him. So if I wanted to, I could have definitely cleaned house in my first few races if I took him online against people who were desperately trying to earn enough racer shards for their new main to get their unique skill. So this stymies that a bit, but conversely it also nerfs all your characters in the season tour and single player stuff, which is annoying. We will no longer have the advantage of a 4-star level 20 doing level 20 challenges. They will be downgraded to 2 stars, and that sucks. Let's talk about the season tour. If you have taken a break from this game for any length of time, whether a season, whether two, or whether you've only just started playing for the first time, you know that a lot of the nodes in the season tour are straight up impossible. They want a character you've never unlocked at a level you could never attain even if you did have them because you wouldn't have enough shards. There are about 40 medals in the Little Mermaid season tour that I cannot get because I wasn't around to unlock past season characters like Aladdin or Jasmine or Stitch, or past event characters like Hades or Gaston or Steamboat Mickey, some of which I couldn't have unlocked even if I was around because those event characters needed previous event characters to complete some of the challenges. It creates this snowball effect of falling behind that can't be surmounted without opening your wallet, something I refused to do for this game after I already spent $30 on the initial Founders Pack to play in early access. Something that would easily solve a majority of this issue, though, is an overhaul of the progression system, which, as discussed, they are about to do, but not in the right way. The way you solve this problem is by completely separating the notion of star ranks and character levels. I don't care if I only have a 1-star Ursula, let me level her up as needed so that I can do more of the challenges in her event so I can get a higher star Ursula. I should be able to have a 1-star character that can reach any level 30, level 40, you name it. Because that is the most consumer-friendly way to keep up with content rewards. Otherwise, you see a node in the tour that requires a character, and even if you manage to unlock them, you don't get excited because you know it doesn't make a difference because they're a lowly 1-star who will never reach the level 27 the node recommends. I'm already nerfed because I won't even have my character's unique skill. They'll have the lowest power on all their skills and a limited amount of crew. I'll already be plenty punished for not starring up, so why are you preventing the climb altogether by not even letting me off the starting line? A change they made after the Frozen season was making it so instead of there being one season box with everything in it, now each unlockable character for that season has its own box where you can only get shards for that character, in addition to all the crew consolation prizes that are still standard fare. This is a double-edged sword. On one hand, yes, you now have somewhat of a choice over which character you main in the season, provided you get lucky enough to actually get more than 2 shards per token, which I sure didn't. Are the low to high shard amounts worse this season? Because the boxes still say you can get 2 to 10 shards per get, but every single time I rolled Ariel, I got 2 shards. I'm talking 100% of the time. I spent like 15 tokens on exclusively her box, phrasing. Hers was the only one I ever rolled on. I went all in Ariel's box, and every time, if I got her at all, it was 2 shards. As a result, I don't even have her at 4 stars yet. I had a theory that she would be secretly incredible at high investment because of how her skills work, but I still can't even really test it. So far, I can only say she does pretty good, but I think the part where they say she gets a slight top speed boost when holding relics is a lie, because that shit's virtually unnoticeable even if you keep them the entire race. Tangent aside, on the other hand, having individual boxes means that if you hard focus on a single character, you'll be getting next to no shards for anyone else, which leaves their events unable to be completed and sets you up for failure in the future if later seasons ever have a node that requires them to be doing something. To be clear, I don't have a problem with not everything in the season tour being attainable by everyone. We're all at differing levels of investment, and it would be boring to relegate all the nodes to the current season characters and like Mickey Mouse, and that's it. But if you're going to have all these super high level requirements for characters not everyone has, at least make it so the people who do have them can actually work towards completing them. Let my 1-star Hortensia level up to 24 so I can get those 3 Hades shards that might unlock Hades for me, so that I can level him up to do his node and unlock some Minnie Mouse shards, etc., which could create this really satisfying unlock loop that I have earned by spending the required upgrade materials. Oh, speaking of those will be changing now too, in a move that makes the game decidedly more boring and bland overall. In Season 7, all character upgrade materials, we're talking soda cans, we're talking brawler gloves, we're talking Mickey Mouse alarm clocks and Little Mermaid cake toppers. All upgrade materials are getting put in the blender and coming out as these universal garden variety upgrade tokens that apply to everyone. Basic as hell. Take charm and variety, throw it in a wood chipper, because for the presumption of the audience being dumb as a rock, they are simplifying the upgrade materials. They're going to take all the materials your inventory currently has and swap them out for a corresponding amount of tokens. Oh, they're actually called upgrade coins. My bad, even more basic. At least token is a cooler word. They claim this will give players more agency in deciding who to upgrade and when, but if you have an abundance of one material when you need another, why not just implement an exchange system? Trade 2 mats you don't need for a mat you do of the same level, boom. Another problem easily solved without sucking all the character out of your game. The current state of Disney SpeedStorm is that we're trending downwards, at least to me. Those who are behind will fall ever more behind as the barriers for unlocks get taller and we unlock less stuff as a result, which will make the barriers for unlocks get taller. I still think it's the premier live service destination for racing fans and has certainly done a better job than Crash Nitro Fueled before it, but don't let your lack of genre competition get you complacent, because people will still fall off you for other dailies games if they find them more engaging, even if they aren't racing, like Honkai Star Rail or something. To summarize, separate stars from upgrade levels so even our 1 or 2 star characters can complete content, and give me better luck in my season boxes, please. Thank you.